Hello everyone, welcome to Sajabana Games. So today we're playing Lightyear Frontier, and we're kind of at the end game, and I thought I'd stop and take a moment to show you my farm and give some tips and tricks, and some just general guidance on how to play if you're a new player. By the way, this is a very family-friendly game. You basically just farm, you don't fight anything, there's no health, there's no way to die. It's just like a little farming and exploration game. So you just explore, find things, do some management of materials, and build a farm. So, anyways, you'll start off basically right here where this crater is. So this is where you start. Your mech will land here, but it'll be broken or missing pieces. And the missing pieces will be scattered about in the surrounding areas on the map. So you'll start here, and this is the meadows, right? And it's kind of this area along here. And there'll be like a piece in the meadows, a piece in Pine Heights. There is, I think, one up here, like Cliffside. So all in this general area, though. It doesn't go too far. You'll find the basic tools for your machine, and you'll collect them and install them. And you'll use those to clean up and restore the areas. And each area, as you restore it, will then start to produce or have materials you can collect. So let's just run through the tools you get. So there is this hammer thing, like hammer drill, saw, like you'll use to break rocks and trees. And you can also swipe for trees and bushes and stuff. So like here's like little bushes that'll give you, plant fiber, one of the most basic resources, which you can turn into plant oil and use in some recipes. Then you'll have trees. You'll start to collect trees just like this. So, and the harder the tree, you'll need to upgrade your tool. But for the basic trees, the small ones, you'll be able to start off with just getting wood and softwood. So the wood trees are like these small ones here. That just gives you normal wood. And then the ones over here. Yeah, up here. So right there's one of the yellow boxes. That's where one of your tools is going to be. And so here is like softwood, these trees. And when you chop these down, you'll get the materials. You'll get some fiber and some wood. And you'll also often get a seed. So you can see up here, there's also these. This is the cabbage. So what you do is, once you get your vacuum, you'll just suck those up and you'll get the seeds. And then those will restore every now and then. So you'll just collect these seeds, and that's what you'll plant on your farm. Right, and each area in general will give you a couple different resources, usually at least one plant, and then there'll be one or two types of trees, which just give you different types of wood, softwood, wood, hardwood, and glowwood, I think are the main types. Glowwood is the last one you'll get. Then stone, right? So you'll use this here to get rock as well. And minerals like aluminum is the most common in the meadows. And then you'll start to find iron. Copper is useful. Coal, and then you'll get this. You'll find red, yellow, and blue crystals. So the red crystals are right here in the Pine Heights. So there's some up here, and then down below in this little area here is aluminum. So Pine Heights is one of the first things you'll unlock or clean up in the meadows. I recommend cleaning up the meadows and then the Pine Heights after you collect all your kind of tools. So here's more of this stuff. I got a lot of this. I don't really need to collect these right now, but if you just go along up here, you can collect all this stuff. And then there is more red crystal up the hill here. Oops. So we'll get these. And then here's the animals. So you feed the animals. I don't have any feed on me right now. You feed the animals either by finding all the animals in a nest or by going to the nest itself right here and just feeding the nest itself. Once the nest is fully fed, it'll provide you with a bonus for regenerative resources like these crystals, the plants, the different things. So the more you feed the wildlife, the more things will restore. So the more you feed the animals, the more things will restore. But if you don't feed them, things will still restore slowly. So anyways, you get the red crystals here in Pine Heights. You can get softwood up here. You can get those little red cabbages and things like that. Now, there's different things to feed the animals. It's not based on the type of animal. It's based on the area they're found in. So as you venture out further, you'll need to create different things to feed animals. So here's another little nest for a different type of animal. You feed this one. Anyways, so that's the kind of first area or two, Pine Heights and the meadows. So the meadows is just open, and you'll get these little bubble things, which are here. All right, you'll get these to plant and make resources from. There's an oil you can make from these. Basically, everything turns into some type of oil. Eventually, you'll start to create dried things and other stuff, and compost. But yeah. All right, so, and I made these roads. They don't come, and signs. They don't come by default. But you can see here, I put red crystal is up this path toward that wall there. And then this way, there is aluminum and coal. You'll need coal for your furnaces or whatever, like to melt, to make glass and like metal bricks, metal ingots. So let's look at that here. Now you start with a shed, but eventually you can upgrade to the barn. And then if you put your production buildings inside your shed or barn, you'll get like a little bonus, which is basically a chance to make double resources. So the oil press is one of the first tools you'll get. And here you can see plant oil. It comes from plant fiber, crafting time 30 seconds, and it tells you can make basic fodder, which is a food, which is good for the plains and that area. You can also use plant oil in constructing the assembler, the fodder oven, which makes the food, a wash basin, which is just a decorative item, torch, decorative item, and these upgrades for your mech, right? So that's just a couple things. So let's take a look at the map instead of just exploring everywhere. So, right, you start again here in the meadows. I recommend building kind of right in here near the water. You want to be really close to water, especially in the beginning of the game, because when you start to farm, you got to water your plants for them to grow. Right, you need to water the plants or they won't grow. They'll turn into like these weeds and stuff that you get to clear out. After you clear out the meadows, then do Pine Heights. Then from there you'll have over in here, there's aluminum and coal. Up here is where the red crystal is. And then when you start to get over this way and you get into this edge cliffs, right in here, you will find copper. You need the copper for electronics. And then when you start to do Stepstone Peak, there is going to be a lot of iron along in here. So do the meadows first, build near the water for your initial farms, do Pine Heights, then venture out into Edgecliff and Stepstone Peak. From there, you'll probably want to do the lowland plains and the mountainside coast and Yellow Forest. Yellow Forest, you kind of got to go around this mountain either this way or this way to get to. Now in the Yellow Forest, you will find blue you'll find the blue crystals, which are here on the map. And I think there's some here, in these two spots here. So you'll come up this way, and you can get to them through here. Or if you come along this long path here, there's like two ways through here. One comes out right here next to this big, large, dead skeleton thing and a pool of water. You can come through here and get to it, or you can come along this way and get to it, or go all the way around here. So there's just a couple different ways to get over there, but you can't go. This whole area here is not passable until you get like really upgraded booster, like thruster jets for jumping, on your mech, which will come late game anyways. So blue crystals here, red crystals are up here, and then the yellow crystals are in the mountainside coast, and they are here and here. So yellow crystals and blue crystals are like near this mountain, and then red crystals are up here on this kind of cliff side. So yeah, anyways, after you get all these main areas here, you'll eventually unlock right here where this question mark is, a door, like a gate to this, like a secret structure. You have to go in. It's a little bit of a maze. It's not a hard puzzle. Like I said, no bad guys, so it's just a little bit of problem solving, and you'll eventually unlock a new destination, which is this last big island up here. And this is where you'll get the glow fruit and things like that you need to make springs. Oops, a new day has passed. At the end of every day, you get one of these little cutscenes. So that is where you'll find everything. There's also, when you get into these last areas, you'll find like fracalite, and you'll get some. The mountainside coast here is a unique area because it'll give you multiple harvestable resources that you can plant. So it will give you two things. One, which is like the honey something or another, and it's in the middle area here where it's green, and the other one is like a little thing, almost looks like a dandelion ready to blow the leaves off. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it grows in the coastal area here along the water. Those things can also, or at least the one that grows in the sand and the gray, can be found over here in this new island, along with some coil thing, which is used to make springs, and a couple like in-game items and upgrades. Yeah, so that's like kind of in general where things are. I haven't marked everything, but I started to mark here. You'll see there's like little caves you can go in and get a handful of small resources out of. Here's the nest. There's about 3 to 4 per area. These are where there's clusters of resources to be gathered, and things like that. So like I said, here is the copper along this hillside. Here is iron, and there's some coal. Usually wherever there's iron or aluminum, you'll find coal. And like I said, you use the coal to make glass and to make the metal ingots, which you don't really make aluminum ingots, but you do for some of the iron and steel, and for the fracalite, whatever you call it. So anyways, that's some tips on that stuff. Some other things to note. You will, when you farm and when you explore, right, what I recommend doing is kind of gather your seeds and do your exploration, and then take a break and go farm for a few cycles, and let your farm empty out, collect everything before you go on a long trek to explore, especially when you start to get further and further away from home. Because if you don't make it back with each day cycle, your plants will get overrun by weeds, and then you won't harvest anything useful. Matter of fact, you may even lose the seeds you had collected to plant. But in general, whatever seeds you plant, when you pull them out, you'll get the seed back to replant, and you'll get the fruit. Same thing goes with a lot of the trees and bushes. When you start to remove them, you'll get materials plus a seed. Eventually you'll find, I think there's 2 or 3 on the map. This one here, you can transplant and replant. This pond pitcher, which is nice because it'll give you a source of water that you can put wherever you want to water your fields. Glow trees too, you'll find on that last island. If you chop them down, you'll get the glow wood, the fruit, and you'll get the seed. And then I recommend planting those near your farm. take as many as you can. Like you can see here, I got a whole bunch of them. And the reason why these are nice, one, you don't have to water and take care of these. They'll just keep growing. So if you just come back for a minute or two, say you don't want to take the time to plant, water, and you're doing a lot of adventuring, you can still collect these pretty quickly. Just use your vacuum, suck up your glow fruits. And you can use these for a couple things. One, you dry these, and they turn into, you can use them for two things. So if you come back over here to the farm, you can either take these and you can put them in the compost once you've unlocked it. So you can compost your oh, we don't have to dry it first. So if you dry it, you can compost it. So you have to get the dryer, and you can dry the glow fruit. And then you can, from there, you can either compost it, or if you have the advanced furnace, it's fueled by glow fruit, not coal, which is nice. So you don't have to keep going out and find coal to run the furnace, and it makes 2 per cycle. The other furnace, which is this one here, I got a couple, only makes 1 resource per cycle, and it takes coal. So you can see it takes 2 minutes, 2 iron, 1 coal, 2 minutes, and you get 1 ingot out. The advanced furnace will take 2 ingots and make 2. Yeah, it takes 2 iron ore, 1 dry fruit, 1 minute, and makes 2. So it takes half the time and makes twice the resources with the same amount of input, using 1 dried glow fruit, which is renewable, versus the coal. So, and the nice thing about the glow fruit, you don't have to go feed animals to make it restore. So yeah, anyways, so you'll unlock things as you go along and just build up your farm. Like I said, keep the farm near the water. Some other things that are useful to know: you can transplant the color fruits, these little color flowers that you use to make paint, to paint things. If you want to paint things different colors, you can transplant those. And then once you move them, so whenever you find them in nature, you just pull the flowers off and you can use those to make the paint. But once you move them, or once you take the flower, if you use your, I don't know, I'm cycling, just use the 1 key, you can take those, and you can see I got a sprout. So once you get the sprout, here it is, I can plant that sprout. Once it turns green, if it'll turn green for me, I can plant it. So there we go, green. So I can plant that sprout, and then you do have to water whatever you plant. You can see if it's got a blue square on it when you turn the watering tool on, then it needs watered. If it's a rainy day, you don't have to water. Whatever it is, it'll grow. So you water it, it'll grow, it'll turn into one of these. I think it'll give you 1 or 2 flowers, and then it'll turn black at the bottom, and then you just pull it up and replant it, and it'll grow again. So it's a renewable way to keep getting paint. And those flowers can also be composted to make fertilizer as well. And you fertilize your fields just like you water them to increase your yield. But fertilization is not like a requirement, but water is pretty much required. Things won't grow without water. So, yeah. Now, when it comes to rain, if you want to know when it's going to rain, because if you don't water every day, things will like dry up, die, and not grow. Once you build the weather station, you can look to know ahead what the days hold. So I see there's a windy day. I think that increases your mill output, which makes dust from stone, which is used for clear glass. Then each of the crystals you can grind into a dust to make colored glasses, which is also used for colored lenses, and the colored lenses go into different upgrades. You see a foggy day, another windy day, a fair day, a fair day. Weed seeds, these will fall out of the sky on this day. and they're weeds. If they hit the ground, they just turn into weeds. If you use your vacuum and you suck them out of the air, you'll get this purple glowy stuff that you can use to make some power cores. So those are useful. So when that happens, come to your farm. These will always fall over your farm plots and where you plant. So just hang out there and pull out as many of these out of the air as you can, and you'll be able to get your power cores you need for upgrades. So rainy day, downpour, there you go. There's also a noxious gas, which is similar to the weed seeds. It'll give you the same resource. But instead of using the vacuum, you have to use the water gun, the water hose, to spray these bubbles. The bubbles pop, and then they drop the same thing that weed seeds produce if you suck them out of the air and use vacuum to suck it up. So basically, if it's the noxious gas, you have to pop the bubbles with water first, then use the vacuum to pull up the resources. If it's the weed seeds, you can pull the resources straight out of the air when you see the weeds falling. So that is pretty much the game and how you do it. You just, you explore, cut down some trees, plant things, transplant things, feed a few animals, which feeding animals is not really required at all. You can get by the whole game without doing it. Eventually, I planted an extra area here that even when I'm planting, I never water. I don't fertilize. I don't even plant seeds here. That's just because the weeds will grow and I can pull them up and get fiber. You can get fiber from like all these little bushes and stuff that grow, but these have to be restored, and you got to feed the animals to restore if you want it to all restore, or you got to start planting and watering and stuff. So what I like to do is I make a couple of these plots that I just don't even use. I put them away from the main farm, and I just let weeds grow here because the vacuum can just suck them up really quick. I don't have to go around punching them with a spike. You can just suck all the weeds up, and then you can take those plant fibers, and I use those plant fibers that grow like pretty much every day if you just let those become overgrown. And those plant fibers you can either turn into plant oil, which is used for your basic stuff here, but more importantly, once you get past building most of these things, more importantly, you can use those plant fibers for the weed compost, or for the compost. So you get your weed, build the compost, and you fill the compost. It only takes 10 each for cycle, and then the next day you get fertilizer. It's only enough to fertilize 10 put 10 fiber in. You only get about enough fertilizer to fertilize 10 plots. The big plots hold 25, and the smaller plots hold 9. So just to give you an idea how far that'll stretch, right? You'll need at least 5 compost to do 2 large fields, and you'll need 1 compost to do 1 small field. So that's just kind of the ratio there. So you'll just put stuff in these, and that's how you just make fertilizer, and then you'll wait. So yeah, that's about it. When your day cycle is up, you just go to your house to sleep early. You can even do it midday if you want to skip days real fast. Just do your watering, fertilizing, your basic maintenance, and then go to sleep, and the day will pass. One other one, this gravel gourd. You'll find a couple of these around the map. If you transplant them, just like the color flowers and this water thing, the originals that you remove will grow back. They will become restored, and then you can replant them at your farm, the ones that you removed. The gravel gourd basically grows rock, right? So you let it grow. When you pull it up, you'll get rock, right? You'll get some stone that you can turn into powder and turn into glass. Yada yada. You can use the stone in building. You can use the glass in building. But you can replant the gravel gourd. So just collect them when you see them. Take them back to your base. Plant them. You only have to water them once, just like the color flowers and the pond pitcher and trees and bushes. You just put them down, water them once, and then they will grow. Once, it's just a way to keep renewable rock kind of and stone right in your base. Yeah. So that's it. That is the game. It's just a family-friendly kind of exploration and farming game. So let me go ahead and show you how to. Whoops! I tripped. Clumsy mech. So just if you do that, just jump out, get out, flip it, stand it back up, and get back in. It happens. So to plant, you just need to have the seeds in your inventory. You cycle through to your planting tool. Now in the beginning you won't have the upgrade, but once you upgrade you can do multiple. Cycle through the seed you want. So like I want to do these coil things, just hover over. You can target multiple. And then you can plant like a bunch of them at once. Or you can do one at a time, doesn't matter, if I want to do like one. Alright, two, but when you upgrade you can highlight multiple and just like fill it up, basically. So it's just a convenience and speed thing. Then, right, I want to water. So I got my water tool selected. Nothing is blue, so this plot is already watered. But basically, if you got the full upgrade and you hold the right mouse button on the computer, it'll charge up and make like a big splash. Aim for the middle square and then just a little bit past center from where you're standing, and it should get most of the area. Every once in a while, one or two of the corners doesn't get watered, and I got it rewatered. And then the same tool spreads the fertilizer if you got fertilizer. So if I want to fertilize this, right, I just aim right about here, and you can see everything is fertilized now, except I missed those two squares and I'm out. So I just got to go back and collect more from here. So let's see if I got some in this barrel. I do. I got a lot. So here we go. We'll just take our fertilizer. We'll come back. Hit those two. Oh, three. I missed that one. And then let's see if this will, I think 23. I may not get everything. Yeah, see, I'm out. I only had 23 and it covered 23 of the 25 squares. So I need to get more to get those last two, which I have in here, I'm sure. Probably in this barrel here. Yep. So by the way, when you produce things, there's a little arrow on each of these buildings that tells you where the materials will come out. If there's a container for storage and it's not full, right about, I'll say about, not exactly, where it's going to output its materials, it will go into storage instead of laying on the ground, which can be nice. So there you go. You can see it's fertilized and it's good to go. So now if we just go over to our house here, try not to trip on our decorations. I can sleep. Now the decorations on the house, by the way, then the things you put around it are important to a small extent. What you do is not important. It's the quality or whatever, or coziness. So you can see at the top right there's a little icon of the house and it has a 4. So my house is like a coziness level of 4, which means it provides 4 bonuses to my daily farming activity. So if I go back here one more time, you can still see those things are fertilized. If I go back here, see, so my 4 effects from coziness level 4 is keen eye is the first one. You have a chance to find additional resources. Animal friend, animals have a chance to dig up additional resources when fed. So whenever you feed an animal, it just gives you 1 resource. Sometimes if you have this, it'll give you like 2 or whatever. Critical strike, so just mine things, collect resources faster. And bountiful yield, have a chance to double up resources and things like that. So you start with a small home and you keep building bigger homes as you level up. You can build a bigger house, and with each bigger level home you also get the ability to achieve a higher level maximum coziness. So basically you just plant some flower beds and put some decorations around it and it'll make it cozy and you'll get bonuses. And yeah, Let's see. And yeah, we can't get these, but we need to water. We don't need to fertilize, I think, every day. Like right now, we don't need to fertilize. Because you can see nothing is like got the little blue square or green square for the fertilizer. If I go to water, I need to water today. Oh, okay, get those two. So now that's watered and fertilized. This one needs water. And water every day and you won't get weeds, pretty much. Unless they spread from like neighboring plots, but water and weed every day and you know, it's like a real garden. Just water it every day, pull the weeds every day. There you go. And that will continue to mature as the day cycles go. So, like I said, if I wanted to explore what I would prefer to do, we can't sleep before noon. That's the first time I ever tried, I guess. Okay. Never tried to sleep before noon. Didn't know I had to wait till noon. I just knew you don't have to wait till dark like some games. You don't have to wait till night. So I do have to wait till noon. So here, let me, yeah. Let's see our paths here. So from here, right, we already went kind of this way a bit. And right up there's our red crystal, that wall. Here's our aluminum and coal of this path here. So I'll just follow this path and it branches off. There's aluminum over there in that corner and a nest. This way here goes into this like ravine. There's some stuff to collect. There's aluminum. You can see this is coal. And then I'm not going to collect this because I'll be encumbered. My weight's already getting maxed out. There's that red crystal that we were getting earlier. This is just below. But this little path goes back here. And you can see there's a lot of aluminum nodes in here. And there's a good number of coal nodes as well. And then right in here, a little pocket, there's an extra 2 coal nodes. There's a color flower that grows up there. And here is one of the tools that you will collect when you start the game. So you'll collect that. And obviously a pond of water. So we go this way, come down here, some more color flowers, more cabbage seeds and cabbage or whatever, or rabage instead of cabbage. I call it cabbage. It looks like cabbage. Red cabbage. Everything looks similar, but not exactly like a real life item. So we'll just pull those up. So you can see these are easy to find. And this basic area is easy to feed the animals too. They don't take much to feed. Oh. Yeah, a few more crystals. I think we got those last time. Up top here next to the second nest. So that's the Pine Heights area. The lower with aluminum, which is technically I think the meadows, and then the upper area here. So what you get here is aluminum, a little bit of coal, and you get the Rabage. The Rabage cabbage. Alright, let's go look at the next area real quick. Oh, it is noon now. I guess we can sleep and then we'll venture out because we're not going to be carrying a lot of stuff around. We're just going to collect everything and return it. Whoops. Alright, let's go here. Let's see if we can deposit some of this stuff, free up some weight. So silos hold a lot of materials, but they only hold one material. Your other storage area buildings hold a lot less, but can hold multiple types of materials. Oops. Okay. We tripped again. Gotta get out. Let's flip. Oh, that's a first. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now we can deposit. There we go. We had a lot of that. Let's just go in here quick. More fertilizer materials. Alright, let's just deposit stuff. We'll free up some weight here. Just hover over these barrels. Deposit similar materials with other similar materials. Oops, that's my flashlight. Also, same key, F key for flashlight. Okay. Oh, now my weight's pretty low. Alright, so, alright, everything's taken care of here. We just need to come back tomorrow to water again. So let's venture out another path. So one of the next ones is this way around, so from where the water is in our little farm. You can see here's a little corner with some aluminum. That doesn't go anywhere. But if we go up this way, this goes through the gate where the building is, but there's also iron and coal up here, which is some of the next things you're gonna need. So if we go up this path, don't go down that way yet. Go over here, you can see one of the crates. That's another where one of your tools is that you're gonna need for your mech, so you can play the game. Follow this path. There's some water and a little bridge. There is the unlockable building that you cannot get to until all of the main areas are cleared of the weeds and slime and stuff you gotta clean up in the game. So slime you remove with water, the weeds you just pull up with your vacuum. So you come up this trail, there's a plateau up here, and you'll see there's some iron right here. So this is, whoops, not close enough. Anyway, so this is where the iron is. And then you also get this like chrome corn, this like chrome looking corn stuff. You'll find the seeds for this up here, so you can collect those. There is another nest up here. If you follow this along, there is more iron there. Keep following this path, and then you get to this area, the top. And if you go down over here, you can go down to the coastal area and like the lower plains, which has some different things that grow down there. But there's also, you go this direction, there's some more nests, more iron, more these pickups. Right, so you can pick up more of this stuff. Anyway, so I'm not gonna keep going that direction. If we turn around and go back the other way, so from here, right, we come up past this pond here, and we see these pillars. The mountain peak is over there to your left. If you come through this way, come down, you can see there's a yellow crystal. You can't get to it from here, but if you go around the other way up the hill and then come over to it, you can get to that yellow crystal. So you're gonna need that for some upgrades and buildings and stuff like that. The yellow crystal turns into yellow dust, turns into yellow glass, which you need for the storage shed. So if you come down here and then go along this area, see there's more iron, some yellow crystal that's easier to get to. So easier to get to yellow crystals. And then if we just keep following this, basically, so there's some iron, you keep following, here's a little area where you can look for artifacts. We'll just unlock some information. You get into the yellow forest, so in the yellow forest, there's a little cave right here you can go into. Here is your little, what are they called? Zapper twig seeds, which you need for batteries and a few items. So you just get those zapper twig seeds, which you can make an oil out of, like everything. There's more iron here, and here's your blue crystal. Alright, so you get blue crystal here, and it's kind of spread out. There's some blue crystal along this hillside, and iron, and my zapper twigs. So there's some, you just gotta jump up those. I'm not gonna do that right now. And then over here, so right over there is, you have to build that radio tower, and then you can unlock a building. They'll basically give you little missions like, you know, bring this or bring that. Which actually I have glow fruit, so you can see the missions on the upper left there. Collect and deliver glow fruit, collect and deliver Rabage, collect and deliver wheat. So that's what you get from that radio tower once you build that, and then you can do those missions. So there's some more blue, and not much that way right now that I'm concerned with. So let's go over the radio tower. We'll turn in a mission. I'm not really concerned about everything. Yeah, I got plenty. So I built those just for the fun of it. So, oops, radio tower. So here you go. So we got this small reward. Confirm. This one, I must have done. Oh, I got the seeds. I'm not carrying those things, but see, now I can do this, right? I can say, do I want, oh, ready, confirm, there we go. Do I want to do an oil exchange, plant oil, glow wood? So I can either bring glow wood or plant oil. I'll just do plant oil because I don't really need the money. I'll just keep my mission queue full. Alright, so there's blue crystal, yellow crystal. We showed red crystal earlier. We got the zapper twigs, a couple different things. Let's look at where copper is though. So the copper on my map is kind of way back where I was on Stepstone, but it's over here where the edge clips are. So let's backtrack here. We'll probably see if we can get there before nightfall. And I'll venture over here real quick. So here is that lower plains I was telling you about. Right here is like the Honeybottle seeds, which you make an oil out of, and then here are the other ones, the loom bloom seeds. So that's the one area where you get like 2 different seeds. Is one along the coast and then one in the inland, and then that last area you unlock later, it'll also give you multiple seeds. But by then you'll only be interested in the one seed because you'll have all the others. Where am I? Oh yeah, I just need to keep going. Alright. So we'll just keep going this way. Go up the hill. You don't have to worry about the animals. They won't attack you and you won't step on them and hurt them. Alright, so more resource nodes through here. You can see there's iron, more seeds, and these will all come back eventually. There's some coal right there. Again, coal for glass and metal ingots. That's iron ore. And then I think I'm getting close to where the copper is. So here is plains. You can see I put signs down there just to tell me kind of what's ahead. So this is the lowland plains, not the mountain coast. And I think the lowland plains has the Honeybottle as well, but it doesn't have the other coastal stuff. So it just has the Honeybottles. Yeah. And then here is the cliffs with the copper. So here is the biggest copper deposits, except for the in-game area. It's kind of right here along this mountainside. So if you just go through here, there's a half dozen to a dozen copper things. There are some spots where there's a couple others, but this is the most concentrated area. of copper. And you'll need this for copper wire, batteries, electronics will need copper. So and I'm about to be encumbered. One thing about being encumbered in this game, just so you know, I think you walk a little slower. You can't jump or run. But you can become like way overcumbered and whoops, did not mean to plant that, but that's fine. You can become way overcumbered and it won't ever stop you. You'll never like grind to a halt. You'll just not be able to travel as fast. And there's Caroot, which is like a carrot. So you get copper and these Caroot things here and this area. So now I'm overcumbered, you see. And basically I just walk slower. If I hit shift, I can't sprint. If I hit space, I can't jump. Later you develop like a walk on water ability, which you can only do for so much distance. But again, with encumbered, you can't walk on water. You'll just sink. So that's that. Now, for example, to where I am earlier, where that copper is. Whoops. Okay. We'll just stay 133. Sure. So where to get to that copper? The area where the gate was earlier, I came through with the gate. I came up this hill to get to my iron and my plains and coastal areas. I came up this hill and I went to this purple tree. I went to the left that way, right? So that's where I got a lot of my iron and glow my honey stuff and glow blooms. If I go right here, this is the way over to the area with the copper. So if I go right, the copper is over. So here again, looking out, this is where I saw earlier the road and the sign, and we went this way to the right here. That's where the copper is. So looking out from Stepstone Peaks, coming over this hill, my iron and stuff is over on this side. My copper is on this side. So I would say if I'm not going to build a farm here in the starting game, if I was going to build a second farm or relocate, I would probably come to this lowland plains just so I could be close to both my copper and my iron. And I would probably want to be near water. So up here is good, but there's limited space. Down here is probably better, but you're just a little bit further, but not too far from your copper and iron. You just have to move all your seeds and transport everything over here. So anyways, this is Lightyear Frontier. That's about all you need to know to get to toward the end game, where all the main resources are. So I'll zoom out here. You can see all the discoverable, where the nest are: copper, iron, yellow crystal, blue crystal, red crystal. Right, these are our crystals. So then we've got the bubble seeds, the cabbage or Rabage seeds. So bubbles, Rabage, Honeybottle, Loom Bloom are along the coast, Zaptwig in the yellow forest, and Caroot in the edge cliffs, or whatever it's called. Caroot, not Caroot. Caroot, like carrot. Caroot. So, and corn on Stepstone Peaks, the chrome corn, whatever you call it. So anyways, until next time, this is Sajabana signing off. Have fun gaming.